Chapter 5. When David and Alan went upon the deck, it was getting dark. The wind was getting stronger and stronger, and the waves taller. The captain pointed to the horizon. "Do you see them?" he asked. They looked and soon saw some rocks shining in the moonlight. "Those are the Torrent rocks," Alan said. "I think they are 10 miles long." "We will have to try and get through them," Hossein said. David and Alan had to help with the sails to keep the ship away from the rocks. The wind blew stronger and the waves tossed the ship dangerously from side to side. "Well, Davy," shouted Alan, "this will be a wet ending if this is where we die." Just then the ship shook violently. Alan lost his balance and fell, sliding along the deck. David fell overboard and found himself in the water. The strong waves carried him quickly away. He tried to stay at the surface. The ship was far off. David swam for hours and finally he saw land. With the last of his strength, he swam towards it until he felt sand under his feet. Then he fell on the beach, unable to move. Soon he fell asleep. When he woke up, he looked around. There was nothing but sand and rocks around him. Some hours later, he realized that he was on an island. He sat down and sad and tired, trying to decide what to do, but he couldn't do much. So he waited and hoped for rescue. Meanwhile, he had to find food. He found some shellfish on the rocks and ate them. At first, this made him sick, but when he tried again later, he found it easier to do. 2 days went by like that. On the third day, there was a great change in David's luck. He was warming himself in the sun when he saw a boat heading for the island. As it got nearer, he saw it was a fishing boat. The fishermen came from a village called Mo, and they could take him there. When he told them of his companions and what had happened, one of them asked, "Might you be the boy with the silver button?" "Yes," David shouted joyfully. Now he knew that Alan had survived too. "Well then," said the fisherman, "the man who told me to look out for you was a fine-looking gentleman, though very wet. He had a great coat and a fine sword. A friend of yours?" "Yes, yes. What did he say?" asked David anxiously. "That you should follow him to his land by passing through Tarsay," answered the man. So this is exactly what David did after they reached land again. He set off for Tarsay right away. Sometimes he knocked at someone's door asking for shelter for the night. Some people were kind and gave him food and a bed for the night, but others just shook their heads and closed the door. He understood they were afraid of a stranger. After 4 days of walking, he met another walker on the way. "Friend," he began, "how far is Tarsay?" He stopped in the middle of his question because he saw the man was blind and was using a stick to guide himself. The blind man laughed. "Don't think I'm no help. I know every rock and bush around here. I know where I am by feeling my way, just as good as if I had an eagle's eyes," he said. So it was with the blind man's help that David arrived in Tarsay, where he hoped to find his friend Alan.